What is going on? So in this video I wanted to go over specifically the buildings that I have set up and what direction I started at and what direction I'm going now, and why I might have changed some of that up. And then this is going to lead into a greater conversation about how to set up your gear, how to think forward about, you know, your gear, your jewels, your familiars, your heroes, as it relates to a particular troop type, as well as your talent points, things like that. So we're going to do a little bit of a deep dive into a series of going through infantry and then cavalry and then range, and each one of those I'm going to go through their gear, their total setup for all those things all those items that I just discussed. And each one of those points that I just touched on, I'm just gonna do a deep dive into a single video, and it'll be an entire series all the way through those. And then at the end, I'll discuss some formations. We'll go ahead and dig into formations and just really kind of talk about how to get your troops set up. And this leads into this video here is going to lead right into that. So very quickly, I'll get into the point, which is these buildings. I start out with Manors, and I produce lots and lots of gold when I set up this way, and I always have one barracks. I'm always just using one barracks, but I'm adjusting. What I'm adjusting when I have lots of Manors is the speed, and all these are level 25. So at level 25, I have a whole army attack boost of 2%, and that's a lot as it stacks up with all those different Manors. You get a nice army attack boost, and I'm slowly trading that off here for something I don't care for, which is health. Army max HP 5% boost per building per infirmary. But what I'm doing is in the beginning, when I was having these Manors, I was trading off speed, because also these Manors give your training speed a boost of 20% per Manor. And so like if you just have all Manors, and literally I had no infirmaries at all, 0, and then I just built my troops while just making sure that I stayed in my bubble. And if you stay in your bubble, and if you stay in your bubble and you build those troops like crazy nonstop, you're going to see that and get them to a point, right? We've talked about goals in some previous videos as far as troop composition and what you want to build toward. So I'm not going to jump into all that, but once you're to that point outside of your bubble, then you want to start converting all of these Manors to beds, because once you become an attacker, right, and you have those troops incoming, you want enough beds to go out and attack. And right now I have nearly 300,000. I've got these 2 here converted. I've got these 4, that 5th one there on that particular little island, and I'm just going to continue to work my way through. And I'm not sure where my stopping point is yet, personally, but I might even get it up to 600,000 or something like that before I stop, or maybe I'll replace all of these with infirmaries and just go that route. So that's kind of the direction that I'm headed. And down here, I am converting this to a stone hyper. Every single building down here. This one currently is not. I stopped to continue my infirmaries here, but I'm converting all these buildings. So not only have I gotten every single building to 25 all throughout everywhere, but on top of that, I'm breaking them down and I'm rebuilding them up again and again and again. So you know, this should make me more worthy of taking on a rally and things of that nature, especially if I can get these beds up. So that's the direction that I am personally heading right now. And that's really it for this video. Oh, the one thing that I will discuss, by the way, the infirmaries are boosted because I'm only keeping one barracks, and I'm constantly building troops here. But then I've told you about this familiar before, level 7 convocation. I'm working my way toward level 8. I want it at level 10, which will give me 15,000 troops. But every 3 days, I can build another, or I get another 9,000 random tier 4 troops, and that's completely free from my familiars. Meanwhile, if I want to build 7,000 tier 4 troops in these barracks, and especially with me breaking down my speed, it takes over 2 days to build 7,000. So 9,000, and especially when that's maxed out at 15,000, you can see how that almost keeps on par with building troops in a single barrack. So I'm just going to have that going the whole time. I'm going to have T4 coming from my my familiar, just kind of random tiers, and then my barracks will control what I build over time. And that's what I've got going on for troops. And this all will lead into, again, this series that I'm about to start up, which is going through infantry, cavalry, range, and going through each of their gear, familiar, heroes, all that kind of stuff individually, and showing you how I build a particular army. And right now I'm built up in this account enough that I can show you all 3 different accounts at a pretty formidable little strength. And then, we'll jump into some other stuff after that. But that's it for this one. You guys have a good one, and I will catch you in the next one.